talk about today is Airsoft a legitimate way to train for real firearm shooting? It's something I've always looked at Airsoft like, yeah, they're toys and whatever. But I was at Walmart on Thursday, a couple days ago, and I found this Smith and Wesson M&P Airsoft pistol. It was $16. Well, as you can see, it fits in my M&P holster absolutely perfectly. When you compare them side to side with the actual specimen, it's literally identical, guys. Okay? Now, the trigger functions differently because it doesn't have the pivoted trigger, and it definitely, it's not a great feeling trigger or anything. It doesn't reset at single shots. It's not semi-automatic, so you got to reset the slide every single time. But you know, it really promotes muscle memory. Okay, so when I come and I draw the pistol out of the holster and bring it up on target, it does it just like the full-size one does. Now, there is a huge discrepancy in weight. This is not weighted at all. Some other Airsofts I've got to mess around with, some of the more legitimate ones, were actually weighted, so they were identical to the real gun. This is not. This is way, way lighter than the real gun. But comes out of the holster, comes up on target. The sights are almost identical to the factory sights, even the way that they have like the dovetails. You know, it's just plastic, no, it's adjustable, but it feels decent, guys. Now, I set up a little cardboard box, put a target on it, so it's like a little BB catch here in my garage. I'm playing around with it. Now, is it accurate? No, not really. In this distance, it hits the target, you know, and it'll group, but it groups like high right, or I'm sorry, high left, which isn't that big of a deal for me, but it comes to actually practicing with this guy. It gives you all the muscle memory and function of really shooting the gun for literally next to nothing. $16 for the pistol. I paid like $8 for the thing of 2,000 BBs. Alright, which you can reuse because it get caught in the trap. But you can do it off the timer. I don't know, man. I know there's a lot of people that are into Airsoft, like big time hardcore, and that's great. For me, I'm never going to get into Airsoft. I like shooting real guns too much. But I just recently started dabbling in competitive shooting. I've always wanted to be a better shooter. Does this help me become a better shooter? I don't know, guys. It's good practice. I mean, I'm working on everything that you should work on when it comes to shooting a gun. You do it off a timer. You can do it however you want. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. For me, one of the biggest things that I'm getting out of this is sight acquisition. When I come out of the holster and I pick up the front sight and I put it on target and I squeeze the shot off, it's just helping me with the fundamentals. Does this replace shooting a real handgun? Does it replace follow-up shots? Does it replace recoil management? Of course not. But I can come out here a couple times a week, work on my draws, work on my sight acquisition, work on the muscle memory coming out of the holster. Right? Another thing about this is the magazines. They're really, really similar to the real mag. Okay, a little bit shorter because it doesn't chamber the round. Obviously, there's a huge weight discrepancy here. Here's my real M&P. Yeah, the mag doesn't fit in there, but the Airsoft mag fits in the mag pouch. So now I can start working on reloads. Okay? The distance that the slide travels is identical to the distance the slide travels on the real gun. Okay? So when you're manipulating the slide, especially when it's under tension, it's got a real familiar feel to it. The slide cocking serrations are the same. The way the sights are, the way you can rack it off of your belt feels the same. Tap racks, you know, you can fire the gun and then tap rack it. So just something I've been playing around with. I figured the $25 investment or whatever it is would be worth just to see if it's legitimate or not. Another fun thing, I've had my 6-year-old daughter out here. She's learning how to, she still can't get fingers around the trigger, so she puts both fingers on the trigger and kind of holds it. But she was doing from the buzzer to shots on target in under a second from a low ready. Like beep, and hitting them from, you know, I'm shooting 5 yards. But still, man, it's pretty good for a 6-year-old. And it's working on firearms handling, firearms safety, muzzle discipline, all that in the safety of our garage with no actual ammo, no real legitimate way of getting hurt. Yeah, you might get shot in the eye with an airsoft. It's about the worst thing that could happen. So, again, guys, just a little, my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. That one went high. Watch this, guys. The only difference is I'm getting feedback, poking holes in the paper. I'm getting a resemblance of am I hitting the target? Am I grouping high right, high left? Now shooting that little airsoft gun at this distance, it shoots about 1.5 inches high, 1.5 inches left, which is fine. I'm still holding dead center, so as long as I'm grouping that little top left corner of the target, I know I'm doing good. But the way this gun comes out of the holster is identical. Again, there's more weight. The weight seems to, when I come out of the holster, almost stop the gun faster because the airsoft is so light I can almost drive it too fast to target. This actually gives me that resistance. So when I get to the target, you know, the gun breaks real easy. It doesn't want to oversway. That little plastic is so damn light, you just kind of stick it out there. But I think it's good practice. As you can see, guys, it's grouping up here. You know, these ones that are pulled, that's just me rushing my shots and stuff, but it's feedback. I don't know about you guys, but my wife doesn't let me do live fire practice in my house, right? Okay, so right now, wife and the girls are out there in the swimming pool, so I got the house to myself. I got the door locked just so they can't come in. But again, yeah, kids' toys. But to be able to come out and clear corners in my house and realize that I can't make it through this doorway with the firearm, but be able to come around and poke out and take shots, to know what it's like to actually squeeze rounds off inside your house. It's not very often you can squeeze rounds off in the hallway of your house. So to be able to have something where I can set up and run drills in my house is a pretty neat thing, man. So I'm going to keep monkeying with this airsoft stuff a little bit. Maybe this will lead me into more serious kind of airsoft where I can use it as firearms practice. Because for me, an airsoft is always going to be a toy. It's always going to be strictly for fun and for practice. This is fun for me to mess around in the house a little bit. You know, be able to poke out around corners. You know, be able to see what I look like coming out and how far out I need to come to make shots. To see what that looks like from that perspective. At night, you can work on flashlights. Another thing, learning how to use your flashlight, learning how to clear hallways, clear corners. You know, being a right-handed shooter coming out of here, learning for me that when I'm trying to clear these corners and stuff, it's stuff I can do with a live firearm for sure. Because it can be empty, but this allowed me to actually squeeze rounds off. So I'm gonna keep messing with it, see what it turns out.